Riverside is on the banks of the Kafui River, hence the name Riverside. Riverside is lush and verdant and just beautiful. Okay? It's a really pleasant time of year. The rain will stop, and for 7 months, you won't get a drop of rain. And when the dry season comes, this place is like a desert. And so the lifeline of Riverside is that Kafui River. We can irrigate 24 hours, 6 days a week.
Riverside is a place that does a lot of different things. One that we're probably most known for is growing bananas. So we grow around 180 semi-truckloads of bananas every year. We also grow wheat, about 500 tons, 200 tons of soybeans. That's the stuff we grow. Then we build churches all over the country. We've built about 500 one-day churches around Zambia at this point. And then we do a wellness center, helping people's health. But then we do education, and so we do some adult training.
We give training in scientific gardening course, which is an intensive gardening course. We have tailoring for women. We have an evangelism program for training Bible workers. And then we have what we call the health evangelism or a health educator course, where people get trained in hydrotherapy, massage, lifestyle, and those are the courses that we train in. Riverside's pretty busy. We got a medical clinic that runs all week long. We have a dental truck with 2 dental chairs and 3 dentists that work here right now. And so they do dental care locally right here, and then they go out into the remote villages and bring, free dental care, but more importantly, an opportunity for people that are suffering to get relief.
But now we've begun to do primary school, and so for maybe 20 years we had a primary school in about 3 buildings and stayed the same size. And then about 3 years ago we got engaged with between ASI and Child Impact in sponsoring a new school, and so we built that school. And now we have about 270 kids in that school that used to have 30 to 40 kids. And that's been so exciting to watch the kids coming and going from school, see the smiles on their faces, because they're getting education, they're getting quality education. And so now we've come to the next step. And you always ask the question, what happens next? So when they end up with scores coming out of grade 7, where do they go? Well, now we're answering that question because we're going to open a secondary school. And so with the secondary school, we'll be able to take them from grade 8, eventually all the way through grade 12. Yeah, so just recently we had the grand opening for the secondary school, and really a dream come true. People here, if you ask people at Riverside what they've dreamed about for years, maybe 30 years, it was to have a secondary school, and now it's finally happened. And so we opened the school, and the students have come. And during that grand opening, it was really exciting to have Child Impact present. The president was there, as well as a number of government officials. So the local district commissioner was there, along with church officials, to open that school. And it was just really exciting because you could see both the expectation and the understanding that this school was going to be different. This school was going to provide quality education connected with practical learning. And so that value, I think, is immeasurable. The need here in Zambia for education is really staggering. To give you an idea, in a typical school where there is access, 1, historically there's been fees, and then 2, the educational system has been so loose. You'll find days and days and days every month where teachers are absent from class, and so you have kids that are there, that can get there, and they're not getting an education the way that it should be. And so the ability to have access to education obviously is the key that unlocks possibility and dreams for kids who otherwise will only know growing up growing maize, dealing with cattle, or ending up in the charcoal industry of basically deforesting the entire country. So the kids that we're being able to help come from the most impoverished groups in the country. We have children of charcoal burners. You're talking about chopping trees, burying them, burning them, and making less than $1 a day. And then many times you'll have 5, 6 kids. And so there's just no way that you're going to provide education, let alone food for kids like that. And so we get kids who are coming, they're coming hungry, they're coming without education, and when they get that opportunity, it's just such a pleasure to see how they blossom with those things being added in. So one of the things that's unique about the education we provide here at Riverside is the emphasis on practicality. You know, one of the things that is a temptation is to, throw out words like STEM and all these buzzwords, and to fill kids' minds with important information that they have no capacity to use in the real world. And so we want them to have STEM, we want them to have all those things, but we want it connected to how does this make a difference in the world I'm living in? How am I going to use this to better my life and the life of those around me? And so we really focus on fully equipping the practical things from woodworking, metalworking, art, music, agriculture, you name it. Those things are being integrated in not just the academics. So we're so thankful for Child Impact coming in, getting involved with the secondary school project, and making that come true. We had a partner that had helped us get part of the way, but to get all the way to opening a secondary school, it's a huge project. The truth is, I didn't even know how big of a project it was until we started to do it.
Those of you that in Zambia, for example, are aware of the government plea to support vulnerable children. And this is exciting as a church, that we have an organization that is there to champion the needs of our vulnerable children. It's not just a government, but also brothers and sisters, a Christian institution that is championing the interest of those that are vulnerable, those that are unable to find food, unable to find money to pay for their education.
As you get there, you just realize what an impact it is. And I have guys who are no longer young guys who wrote me and said, wow, this school opened, we wanted this 30 years ago when we were young boys. And you saw, girls coming to the school who were sponsored by Child Impact, and their parents were down on their knees, literally on their knees with tears in their eyes, thanking us that we were putting them in school. And so that happens because of that partnership with Child Impact. Kids go to school who would be on the street, who would be vulnerable to exploitation, to trafficking, and instead they're getting an education that's both academic and practical, so they can do anything. They can follow their dream wherever it takes them in making a difference for the world they live in, instead of being used and exploited. One of the dreams we have is to provide access to education for even more kids. And we have a facility that can almost allow us to help an additional 360 kids. So in order to do that, we have to have a few additional buildings, about 5 additional buildings. And then the biggest piece of that is the addition of a bus. So right between us and a neighboring community, there's a mountainous region. There's a decent road that goes through and passes by, but these kids are often found outside of school because they don't have quality education available to them. And so to be able to get them, bring them to school, is such a blessing.
Well, my dream is to have these kids take advantage of the facility here so that they can advance, realize their full potential. Yes, including my own kids. I think by next year or the year after, I'll have one of my kids here.
Really? At this
Yes.
time? Oh, that is exciting.
I want one of my kids to be here.
Jesus mingled with the people as one who desired their good. He ministered to their needs, he won their confidence, and then he bade them, follow me. And we're told that Christ's methods alone will bring true success. Now, you don't bring those things today the way we did in 1973. Things have changed in 50 years. And so your tools that you use are different than what they were then. But the goal of ministering to the needs of the people coming close to them and serving them, that goal hasn't changed. It's just the way we get out there to do it.
So what I really want to do is to do a school that's a Madison 2.0. And everybody in the Adventist circle, talks about Madison and its practical education and skills. And the thing is, I think we really can do that here. We are in a setting where we can do industry, in a place with the land and the resources, the access to market, to be able to do really practical education in a way like Madison, only with the embrace of technology that comes with the day we live in. And so, you look back at the book of Acts and you say, man, these guys really were on fire for evangelism. Or you look at the early church and you see these guys building colleges and hospitals. And for me, I sit there and I say, well, what about us? Where are the guys starting colleges and building hospitals today? And there are a few, but there's far fewer than there were. And my question is why? Do we not believe what we said we believe? Or do we actually believe it? And so for me, I say, why not? Where are the guys who are going to join me and ask the question, what about us? What about us? When are we going to do something that actually changes people's lives fundamentally for generations to come?
Greetings, friends. It was an incredible privilege to be present for the grand opening of the Riverside Secondary School. One statement made during the inauguration stood out to me: God is my camera. The speaker emphasized the importance of living a life of character when no one else is looking. Education is not simply a goal, otherwise we would end up with smarter criminals. He said that knowing Jesus and a transformed life that is guided by the conviction that God is my camera can transform a society and even an entire nation. Child Impact is excited to partner with Riverside Farm on the next step. We have identified a need to provide dormitory housing for girls from a border town between Zimbabwe and Zambia. These girls are solicited by truck drivers for prostitution beginning as young as the age of 12. We want these girls to have an opportunity to pursue, to chase their dreams. We didn't want to wait to intervene and are currently sponsoring 35 of these girls who are living in a rented dormitory near the campus of Riverside Farm. Building a girls' dormitory to house 100 girls next to the school right on the campus of Riverside Farm is our goal. The cost is $200,000. We believe this investment will make a world of difference for these girls and their families. This is a substantial project and your help is needed. You can donate by visiting childimpact.org and selecting Building Fund, or you can call 423-910-0667. Thank you for intervening on behalf of these vulnerable girls so that they can chase their dreams.